Hey everyone, welcome back to VENN Esports' sit-down interviews post-game, this time with Insanity after his match against TSM. Insanity, thank you for making time for us. Tough game. This one, it felt like, hey, you fell behind early, made plays to catch back up, and then fell behind again, and then stabilized for a little bit, but it felt like it stalled out. What was the game like for you all in the comms?
I think things were pretty calm, at least for me in the comms, like just hearing and for myself as well. But the game started out a bit unlucky because I think my lane was going well, and then there was a time where I tried to kill the crab, which I probably should have given it to my jungler. But when I W'd it, the dot from Diana's jungle item got it, and then she got free XP and gold, which was really, really unfortunate because then she sort of snowballed off that. And at some point I just started, I guess, running it down. Not on purpose, but I just played really, really poorly and made some poor TP plays. Honestly, it's an unfortunate game, and same with the last few that we've lost. But I don't think our confidence is shot or anything. I think it's just something we have to sort of learn from and sort of move on and improve to the next day and try to get a win.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we saw the crying emote when the dot of the Diana took it away that you popped off, and then we also saw the TP play up on the top side of the map. I think Azale had a pretty good look at it and was like, "Hey, that felt like it was uncoordinated." What was that specific play like in the game? Because that felt like a very pivotal moment in the game.
I'm not too sure if I remember correctly how it went, but something sort of made me feel like I TP'd, or I was supposed to TP, and then I TP'd and it looked really bad, but then I did it anyway, or like didn't TP anyway, but I flashed anyway, feeling like I had to make up for it, and then I kind of just inted and got my jungler killed as well. Unfortunate, honestly.
The
unlucky inting spree for me lately, but I'll bounce back.
Yeah, I think I can mentality, and it kind of looked like that, but also it wasn't that far off, and so definitely could see what I guess you're thinking in that moment. And right now you all are in the midst of a 3-game losing streak, but thankfully for you, you've done pretty hot so far in the summer, still at 50%. What's this summer been like so far for you all, and what's been the big change for your results?
I think it's pretty much just that we put in a lot more effort this year, or like starting into like before the season, we put in a lot of practice because we had to make up for it since we didn't have all the guys right away to scrim before in spring split before the season. So like we had a lot of time to make up for it, and like it's been helping us just come together as a team, come together as friends, and just play really well together and learn the basics and show those basics on stage. But I mean, obviously it does help that other teams were imploding. I think we've sort of hit like a stunt right now, but I think things will pick back up because there are still a lot of games left, and I don't expect us to continue losing or continue playing either uncoordinated or poorly together. I think it's pretty much just an unfortunate bit of losses for us.
Well, speaking of this team that, had a little bit of a later start based off of visa issues, but also based off of the fact that you're the centerpiece, you're the returning player from last year's roster to this year. What has been the major difference, or some of the major differences with this roster, and what does that allow you to do that you maybe couldn't have done beforehand?
I'm not too sure, actually. I feel as though we're just more friendly with each other. If anything, it's more like a group of friends. Like we hang out a lot out of the game, and I don't think we really did that much last year as a team, but obviously partly because of COVID. But I don't know, in general we just talk to each other more often than we did last year, like the old team. But I still feel like I'm learning a lot from this team, and I learned a lot from that team in the past as well. But I think this team is also much younger and really hungry to sort of show what we're made of, and that kind of helps us as more of a rookie roster with obviously some veterans sort of have a passion and drive to win the LCS or try to, and just continue improving.
So can you, a lot of people at home here, oh yeah, they're a group of friends, the power of friendship, right? TSM's riding that train. CLG fans have been drinking that Kool-Aid forever. How does that really manifest? Like how does that really help out in game? Like why does being friends matter?
I think it's not just being friends, it's just being on the same page out of the game, and like knowing that your personalities mesh well together shows that in game, when you guys make mistakes together or like make a good play together, it's done together, and there's no like, usually there's no being on different pages, and it also makes like combating each other and trying to come to a conclusion a lot easier as well in things like review or in scrims. And that just overall helps the team environment, one, be positive and like just look forward no matter what happens, whether it's a negative day or even just a stomp day where you just win everything. You're still trying to improve and take the negatives more often than the positives and just improve on those and just keep building together. And I think that's the most important thing, is just being together and learning from that.
You all are in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. You said before we got on here, hey, you're kind of underperforming just a little bit here. How do you pull yourself out of it in a rut like this? What are some of the methods that you're looking to change up, and what are you trying to fix here with your last game on Sunday?
Obviously, we're going to look at the things we've been doing wrong, and that could be pretty much anything at this point. No specifics for right now for like the question, but I think for myself, I'm just trying to sort of take a step back and reinstill my own confidence, and mostly in myself, not in my team, because I believe they're playing well. It's just in my head, it's on me for right now. And I think as long as I sort of get my shit together, I think tomorrow will be a lot different than today.
Bet. Hey, and lastly, to close this out, and just because I love chatting with the NA mids, right? The guys that are from NA that are like, hey, all these imports come on in. Yes, I probably could be proficient in another role, but this is the role that I play. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to compete. Talk to me through the mindset of deciding that. You are going up against the most imported role, the star role, but you want to continue to stake your flag in the ground here. Why is that, and what is the mentality as you face some of these imports?
I think it's mostly because I don't have sort of like a loser's mentality. I don't think the imports that come into NA are unbeatable or like you can't get to their level. I just think it's harder for most people in NA, not only because of the culture, but obviously because solo queue is bad. You're like less limited on the resources, not money. You know, that's definitely not a problem. But like, I think it's hard for majority of the mid laners to actually understand where they need to improve on their own game when they're not playing against good players in solo queue. So like finding the mindset to overcome that barrier on its own is like the step one for me. And I always faced up against these players as well in solo queue. And even like when I went to Worlds as a sub for Team Liquid Academy, or Team Liquid LCS, sorry, not Academy. They never went to Worlds, but playing solo queue there made me realize that I can compete with the best of the best, because I played like mid laners like Rookie and Faker, Nemesis, and I never thought that I couldn't do what they could do. I never thought that I couldn't be as good as them, and it's just a long process, and practicing, watching VODs and stuff like this, it's all part of my mentality and trying to improve. But I feel like a lot of people just give up and feel like they'll never get a chance. Not just because they don't think they're... Like, I don't think that they think they're not good enough to do it. I just think that they're not going to be given the chance in the first place. But in my eyes, I feel like I have to be able to give myself that chance. Like, force it, you know, make myself look so good that people can't not give me a chance.
That's it. I love that mentality. And you know what? I think you and the crop of North American mids that are getting the opportunity now are those trailblazers getting to do that now. I would say you, Palafox, Blaze Olive, you all the ones that are getting the opportunity. I think you're doing a fantastic job making the most of it. Insanity, everybody. Thank you so much for making time to chat with me.
Yep. Thank you.